Hello and welcome to Orion Outreach. I'm your host, Stacy Calloway. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and today we're joined by several guests from Real Men Wear Pink and Real Men of Lake Orion. Today, thank you, Matt, for joining us. How are you?
Thanks for having me, Stacy. Always a pleasure to be at this big, beautiful desk and in your wonderful studio here in Lake Orion. Thank you.
Wonderful. So talk to us first about Real Men Wear Pink.
Well, Real Men Wear Pink is a charity that is run by the American Cancer Society, and this was a way for men to get involved and to try and make a difference in the fight against breast cancer. So Real Men Wear Pink. There are teams all over the country, in large cities, small counties. We're Real Men of Orion, but we're really part of the Real Men of Oakland County. And and there's Real Men of Macomb and Detroit and mid-Michigan, so there's a lot of different teams in Michigan, but across the country. And the idea is that, first of all, obviously, most men have a woman in their life that they love in one way or another, and daughters and mothers, and so we wanted, or the Cancer Society wanted a way for men to be involved in this important fight. Obviously, breast cancer being the leading cause of death in women in our country, that it's important to all of us. So Real Men Wear Pink is a kind of a competitive thing, because we know men are a bit competitive, and so we individually compete to raise money. We compete against teams across Michigan, across the country, with a goal of just raising as much money and awareness in the fight against breast cancer, and make sure people understand the importance of the fight, the successes that are happening, and get everyone to join in so that we can once and for all knock out breast cancer. That's the goal.
That's the goal. So how many people do you currently have as part of your membership in Lake Orion?
Well, the Real Men of Orion is actually a 3-person team this year. That's something we kind of started, this started in Oakland County 4 years ago. That was our inaugural year. And I was asked to be an ambassador, and I, of course, said yes, because we all know that now. That was a lot of fun that first year. The second year, I decided I was going to pull back, and what I did is I ended up being a coach and a supporter of Garrett Hoffman, who joined here in Real Men of Orion, or he's part of our team now. And so I sponsored Garrett in and worked with other ambassadors across the county just to try and help them, because I was a winner that first year. And they wanted me to, the Cancer Society asked me to be involved in trying to, help the other guys be successful. And of course, Garrett, as Garrett often does, stepped up and did a heck of a good job and raised a ton of money. And so that was the second year. Okay. And then last year, we decided to do things a little different, and we created what we called Real Men of Orion. And Garrett and I, we brought in a couple of other folks, Jerry Narsh and Aaron Watley from Parks and Rec. Jerry was the chief in Orion, and the four of us together raised a ton of money, and that was kind of a fun way to do it. So this year, it's COVID. That kind of puts a backdrop on everything, so it's a little different. We can't have those big events that we kind of are known for and really enjoyed putting on. So, but we're doing some different things, and we've got Garrett and I are back as Real Men of Orion. We've added a pretty good addition in Jordannutson. He is now a Real Men of Orion as well. So the three of us are the team this year, and we're just getting started.
So you're all ambassadors now?
We're all ambassadors, yeah. We're individual ambassadors, but we're a team. And so our mission is to raise, at a minimum, $7,500 between the three of us. And of course, none of us will be satisfied if, so we're hoping to raise even more than that, of course.
Now, you mentioned before that you were a winner. I don't know if you remember the numbers, but how much did you raise when you were in charge of it, and then the following year when Garrett?
I don't remember the numbers. I was somewhere in the, 16,000 is kind of the number that's coming to my head, but don't quote me on that. Or I'm sure we could post that later. Isn't that a thing? I don't know.
That's a thing.
We could have the fact checkers, scroll it on the bottom, maybe.
So as we said, with the pandemic, with the social distancing and making sure that people wear masks, what kind of events, whether or not they're small, that you guys have that you're going to try to put together?
Well, the guys are going to be coming up after me. They're going to get into some more specifics, but we do. We're just kicking off. Our focus this year. We're all dealing with our own challenges due to COVID with our businesses. And so we decided to just focus on the month of October, whereas in years past we've started earlier. And in that process, we've been ramping up. We have Garrett will hit in some of the specifics, but we have an online store where people can get their Real Men of Orion gear. And we have a, well, Jordan's going to tell you about his event. I don't want to steal his thunder, but Jordan's got a pretty fun event coming up this weekend. And I'll give you a little hint. Lake Orion, the water, and Speedo. And we'll just leave it at that. And then you guys, we'll let Garrett.
Any pink in that?
Or, yeah, well, there might be. We'll let Jordan tell you more about that. So that's coming up. We do have we have the pink chair in our hands. So we've got some businesses that have stepped up and asked us to put the chair out, and they're going to sponsor money. So you're going to see the pink chair events. We're gonna do some happy hours throughout Lake Orion. We're offering it. Anybody that wants to be a part of it. I'm looking at the camera, I think. I'm looking at one of them.
Yeah, right there.
So anybody who wants to be a part of the Real Men of Orion and helping us to make a difference in the fight against cancer, we would ask you to visit our website, realmenoforion.com, or visit our page on Facebook, which is also Real Men of Orion, or any of us individually, and see what we're up to and jump in. Buy some shirts. M&B Graphics, always been a great partner. They're donating over half of all the shirt money back to be part of our fundraising. And really cool shirts. Get your size, get your style. You can do that. But we're looking for support. So we're also willing to let that pink chair be a way for a business to show that they're a part of giving back and making a difference in the community. And the guys and I, for a donation, minimum $500. We're trying to obviously do more, and we've got one more already, where we'll come out, we'll set up the chair, we'll hang out, we'll do interviews with your customers, and hang out at your business for the day to really try and get the word out about the fight against cancer, but also to get the word out about their business, because we always try to look at things in that lens of a win-win. We want to help people with their business, which a lot of us are facing challenges, and of course we want to raise money and raise awareness in the fight against breast cancer.
And I'm glad you alluded to the pink chair, because it is inflatable. It's huge.
It's huge.
Right?
It's huge. Yeah. That pink chair. One of my claims to fame within the Cancer Society was that first year they had never actually let the chair out of their possession, and they had the kickoff that very first year 4 years ago. And I walked out and I wanted to take a picture in it, and I got talking to Julie Featherston, who's the director of Real Men Wear Pink in Oakland County. And I said, hey, I'd like to borrow the chair. She said, what are you going to do? I said, well, I'm going to camp in it. I'll do a 24-hour thing. And she's like, well, nobody's ever asked, but I don't see why that'd be a problem. Right. Well, since then, Garrett's done that sleepover. All of us did a 48-hour last year. And then other Real Men Wear Pink throughout the county, and I believe in other regions now, have started using that as a tool, because people, who doesn't like a giant pink chair, right? People like to get silly, be in something a little different and unique, and so the pink chair has actually become a pretty good tool for us. And get people to honk along the way, like to show their support as well. Yeah, honking is great. Money's better. We're looking for money, because they've made so many wonderful strides in the fight against breast cancer in terms of treatments. The money that's raised through our efforts does go partially to research to find a cure, but a lot of that money goes to help the families that are fighting that battle, whether they need rides, whether they need a hotel stay near the hospital, whatever the family struggles are as they battle this horrible disease. We want to lessen that burden, and so our fundraising efforts go towards that. And that really is what it's all about. Talk to me about maybe a story where someone came and shared their story with you, or just thanked you for what you're doing. There were so many of those through the campaign. I remember, I think when I did the first Pink Chair Camp Out, had somebody that had seen our Facebook post, because I was posting regularly and they were getting shared in that, and they drove for it was about 3.5 hours just to come up and hand cash and say thank you, because they had lost 2 loved ones to the disease, and it really moved them that they saw people that were out trying to make a difference. So And last year, I remember being in downtown at the Dragon on the Lake Festival. We had the pink chair there. Jerry Narsh and I were at the chair, and a young lady, she came up. She's new to our area, and she asked about what we were doing, noticed the pink, and knew it was breast cancer month. And she had just gotten the diagnosis 3 days earlier. Wow. And we were, by the end of that conversation, we were all in tears. It's hard not to go back to that moment. But she was so optimistic, so thankful for the effort, and it's just those moments are fuel. They're the fuel that I think keep all of us going. We've all been touched by cancer in different ways, and there's nothing that moves us more than talking to the survivors. And so we all spend, through this, Jordan will learn this year, as people realize what we're doing, they want to share their stories. And thank goodness, a lot of it is success stories. Exactly. There's so much progress that's been made, but it's not a success story for everybody. And until it's a success story for everybody, the real Men of Orion, the real men wear pink, we're going to keep fighting.
I think that's a perfect note to leave it on. So thank you so much for joining us, Matt Pfeiffer.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having us as always. You always are just such a good advocate for our town, and we appreciate what you do here, and you just have a wonderful rest of your day, okay?
You too. Thank you.
Thanks, Stacy.
And we'll take a quick break, and we'll be joined by another representative from Real Men of Orion.
Oscar De La Hoya here. I am so excited to partner with the American Cancer Society as the first ever national ambassador for your Real Men Wear Pink program. I'll be helping you raise awareness and money to fight breast cancer. And I'm honored that you chose me for this role. You guys might not know this, but I lost my mom to breast cancer when I was just 17 years old. That's why I'm so passionate about this cause. Now, I know I'm stepping into the ring with my toughest opponent ever. This is my biggest fight yet, and it's a fight we need to win. But together, I think we can knock out breast cancer for good. Make a donation today at menfightingbreastcancer.org.
Hello, and welcome back to Real Men of Orion. I'm joined by Jordannutson, who is also a co-ambassador of Real Men of Orion. Thank you so much for being here.
I'm very happy to be here.
Okay, talk to us about your role.
With my hands?
You can fold them. So talk to us about your role.
So my role, I got approached by Garrett and Matt, actually probably pretty late in the game, and we got talking about it out on the boat. I was getting sunburned. I'm pretty pasty, so it's easy for me to do, and I just couldn't think of anything more noble to go to war for than second base. So I joined up, and we're hoping to raise some money to end breast cancer.
Okay, and so this is your first year?
Yeah.
Okay. Talk to us about some of the big events you guys have coming up.
So one of the events that we're doing this year, which is kind of my idea, not to toot my own horn, but it's the best idea I've ever heard.
It's okay, toot.
So we're going to, we're raising money to see me swim across the lake in a Speedo, which when I came up with this idea, it was summer, it was a great idea. And now I'm really regretting that idea because it's very cold out now.
It is a little cold. So tell us about the distance.
So I have no idea what the distance is. And full disclosure, I have not swam in like over a year.
Okay.
But I think it's going to take me maybe 10 minutes, maybe 3 hours. We're going to swim across the lake and downtown and party at 313 Pizza. So people are donating. Donations of $50 instantly gets you a ticket on the VIP boats, and we're just going to party it out.
And then how are people doing this? Are they going to the website? How are they just coming in hand and just handing money?
No, we'll lose that if you hand it to us. So you're going directly to the website and donating online, and it just automatically shows us who donated. So
okay, so that's coming up. And then what else do you have coming up?
So we're doing a tailgate for the Lions game. Hopefully they win.
Well, the fact that they just won.
They did just win.
That helps you.
We're definitely going to win.
Okay.
And we're doing a tailgate up at 925 Social in Oxford, Michigan. It'll be a pizza and beer thing, and they're graciously donating part of every ticket back to the fundraiser. So that's a pretty exciting event. Unless we lose, then it's going to be kind of a not so exciting. But then another thing that we're doing, it's actually up Mr. Mills of Urban Air in Oxford is donating back 25% of any gift cards purchased in the month of October as well. And that's pretty exciting because Urban Air is actually going to be opening now that the governor's allowed that. So.
Okay. And I know that Matt and Garrett are both really competitive, so it sounds like as if you have a bit of that edge too, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty competitive. I don't like to lose.
How far are you willing to go? How far are you willing to go?
I'm willing to go all the way. I mean, I'm going to walk downtown almost naked, but I'm not going to lie to you. I do lose a lot. I'm not very good at most stuff that I do. So. Okay.
Well, we're going to, pray for you, and hopefully, you can get the funds that you need. Talk to me about whether or not have you lost someone or someone who has experienced breast cancer?
My wife's very good friend that she works with just got diagnosed over COVID. Her name's Becky, and that was one of the things that super stood out to me. She's hilarious, one of the nicest people on the planet. She laughs like this. Love it. She's great.
And she knows that you're doing this.
Yeah, she does. So she's currently going through it right now, and she's fighting with the best of them, and we pray for her every day. So. Well,
we certainly hope that you raise the funds that you need for the research, and also, we'll keep her in our prayers as well.
Yeah.
All right, and also you and the Speedo event and the other event that's coming up.
Yeah, I wouldn't pray for me in the Speedo event. You pray for everybody else that's watching it. So.
All right, well, we will thank you so much, Jordan, for joining us today for this segment of Real Men of Orion.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to take another break, and we're going to come back with Garrett Hoffman of Real Men of Orion.
There are several signs and symptoms of breast cancer, and one of the ones that folks know the most about, of course, is the lump, but there are others, like any unusual rash on your breast that may be dimply. It could be flaky, the skin could be flaky. Any discharge in the breast, blood or fluid other than breast milk. The inversion of nipples, any unusual swelling in any area of the breast. So I really want to encourage young women to know what your breasts normally look and feel like, so that when there is a change that's unusual, you can follow up with your doctor as soon as possible.
Welcome back. We are joined by Garrett Hoffman of Real Men of Orion. Thank you so much, Garrett, for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Talk to us about how many years you've been a part of Real Men Wear Pink, Real Men of Orion.
So I was the year after they started. Matt Pfeiffer, asked me if I wanted to join the campaign. It was the second year they did it, so I've been doing it for 3 years.
Okay, and what's one of the strangest or one of the best things that you've done to raise funds?
I know Matt touched on it a little bit. It was sleeping in the chair, pretty much. I did it my first year. I did it for 29 hours. That is by far my favorite event, probably because our lives were so fast-paced. Everyone's into their phones and stuff like that, and I had nowhere to go. And people coming to visit, sit in the chair, tell me their stories. It's probably the most I've ever cried, hearing people's different stories and knowing how fast-paced lives are. I had people that I was kind of close with that didn't know how cancer affected their lives until they sat down with me and told me their stories.
Wow. So do you have one in particular that kind of resonates with you or that stands out?
Not in particular. A lot of great stories and a lot of unique in their own way. I don't have one in general. They've all just touched my heart.
Okay. I will tell you this, the last time we did this last year, and I didn't even know that one of my friends actually had breast cancer, and so she watched the segment and she was like, wow, and it's continue to do the work. So we thank you guys for doing as much as you do to raise the funds. It's really
definitely
greatly appreciated. So you do have some big events coming up.
Yep.
Okay.
We have some big events. We decided that because of COVID, we're going to stick with just October. In previous years, we were already campaigning in September. But in October, every Tuesday from 4 to 7, we're going to be doing happy hours in downtown Lake Orion. And because of COVID and you can't gather in one spot, we've gotten a bunch of locations together that are going to do the happy hours. So we got Oat Soda, we got 313 Pizza, Fork and Pint. I believe Bitter Tom's is going to be involved, and we have a couple more that are going to be added later.
Okay.
But those is who confirmed as of right now.
And you also have Wine Social that's being a part of it too.
Yep, Wine Social will always. We have two actually concert events, one being 313 Pizza and Wine Social, and that's coming up, I believe, on the 10th of October.
Okay. And it certainly sounds like as if you're not letting this pandemic hamper your efforts. It sounds like as if it's getting bigger, like the crowds will be a little smaller, but you'll get more bang for your buck, right?
Yep, we've expanded the territories to make sure we're doing social distancing and stuff like that, and then we're relying on social media and the websites a little bit more. This time around, instead of buying a bunch of shirts and carrying them around, we made a Real Men of Orion store with MMB graphics in downtown Lake Orion that you can actually go and order the style of shirt you want, which is short sleeve, long sleeve, sweatshirts, stuff like that. Okay. We even got the gaiters, which are the mouth and nose coverings that will say Real Men of Orion.
Okay. And then, of course, I know that I'm just thinking about football, in the sense that maybe the football players or the teams can, bring some of this information out, or flyers or something. Like, what are you doing to involve more members of the community?
Me and Matt have done this for several years, so people come to expect this from us, and we get a lot of people that reach out and want to help out. We call them our Pink Army.
Okay.
We had quite a few last year. Quite a few are coming back this year, and we have some more people joining us. If anyone else wants to come join us, they can get, with either one of us. They can go to the website, they can go to our Facebook, they can message us and let us know that they want to be a part of the Army.
I like that. I didn't know that they, talked about the Pink Army. I was thinking about who else could we get to be a part of this particular venture, but certainly it sounds like as if you guys are well on your way to getting more people.
Yep. I created the shirts this year, and the theme with it is, in this community, nobody fights alone.
Okay. Wonderful. Well, hopefully we can get one of those shirts and maybe have people see it, buy it, and continue to support Real Men of Orion and Real Men Wear Pink.
Definitely. They can. They'll be able to see all this at realmenoforion.com. They can go to the Facebook page, which is Real Men of Orion, and then from there we have our donation links. We have our link to the store, so they can buy the apparel as well.
So I understand you have new music coming out.
Yes. Last year we actually Johnny Carson in the community. He puts together Tommy Stock. He wrote a song for us, for the four of us last year. And Ryan Mansfield, he did his own version to that song that we really liked. So I reached out to them this year, and they've wrote another song, 2020 version, that we are actually going to record and produce a video for.
Wow.
And then on top of that, I was able to do some creative projects this summer. And one of them was a music video for Swifty McVeigh from D12, Eminem's group.
Okay.
And so I reached out to him and asked him if he would do a rap for us. And he's going to do a rap for us. And I got with my buddy, Will Black. He's a music producer.
Okay.
And we put together a melody and a track for Swifty. I sent it over to him. And I'm actually supposed to be getting the music back any day.
That's amazing. That really is. And so all of the proceeds are going to go toward Real Men Wear Pink, Real Men of Orion. Wonderful.
Yep.
Wow. Well, this is great news. And we certainly wish you guys the best of luck. I mean, October, it's a full month, so hopefully every single day you guys can get all the funds you need for this.
Definitely.
Thanks again, Garrett Hoffman, for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. And thank you for joining us for this segment of Real Men Wear Pink, Real Men of Orion. I'm Stacy Calloway. Thanks again for watching.